to talk to you about something that's really important to me that I think would help churches a lot with what they're doing online. And there's two different ways I think about specifically with search engine optimization. There's two ways. One is yellow pages, you can think SEO, and the other is white pages SEO. And I want to talk about these two different topics because I think they really can help you with what you're doing online. So yellow pages, think about yellow pages. The big yellow page book has tons of information and it's by category. And the way that works with search engine optimization is it's the category or general area of where you're trying to be found online. And some of the ideas that I think that churches should use, the basic one is going to be, say, the word church and then the city that you live in. And you can do church and your city, you can do church and your state, and those are the two different search keyword phrases. You can do church and state, you can do church and even suburbs. Somebody's looking for, I'm looking for a church in the city or the suburb, and you want to get all those cities and suburbs all around where you live. But additionally, you also may want to consider doing your denomination and the city. So somebody could say, I'm looking for a Baptist church in a certain city or state. You want to make sure that when you're doing your optimization that you can be found with those phrases in addition. What else? I'm thinking you may want to use church events in your city. I think that's a great idea for Christians or somebody that's looking for church events or Christian events in a certain city. Okay, if your church has a directory or has a listing of all the different events, whether it's on your church or another church, I think that would be tremendously helpful. So you can do church events, Christian events. You could also do things like family events in your city. So family events, and then your city name or your state name or your suburbs. You got to think differently. The type of people that you want to find your church, what are they looking for online? And I think it's more than just your church name. Other things could be if your church has annual conferences or if there's a specialty that you focus on. So you could say Christian conference in your city or prayer conference in your city or missions conference in your city. No matter when that happens, whether it happens a year from now, you want to start thinking about optimizing your pages now so that when the time comes, you'll definitely be ranking in Google or whatever search engine for that phrase. And that's what I call, or people call, yellow pages SEO, which is the main way people do SEO. And then the flip side of it is the white pages. You remember the white pages? They were really small books, not like the big yellow pages, but just small books. And it wasn't for subjects. You don't look for an auto shop or a dentist, but you look for a specific person's name. You can find, a certain name in a certain city. And that's a mindset of thinking about white pages, because somebody might search for a church in your city. However, somebody might look for your specific name. If your name is Jim Brown and you're the pastor, there's thousands of Jim Browns. However, if somebody looking for Pastor Jim Brown in a certain city, you want to optimize, say, your pastor's page, your bio on your church website, that it's optimized for somebody who's searching for your specific name. In the same way, if anybody else in your church, possibly your musician, could be popular, the musician at your church is somebody who's somewhat known, you want to work with your church or your website so that specific person's name shows up. So it could be, the worship leader. If somebody, again, it's somebody that's popular, you want to get their information to show up in search engines also. Another thing could be, so you got your church name is one. Again, if your church is called Mount Zion, there's could be hundreds or St. Peter, St. Paul, whatever. When somebody types in that name in search engines, you want to make sure that your church shows up. If they're looking for your pastor's name specifically, you want to make sure that shows up in Google. If your youth group has a name that people know of, you got your youth group called, trying to think of a cool, I think there's one in our town called Rush Youth. So that's the name of your youth group. You want to optimize that. It's more of a white pages, a specific name. You want that specific name to show up in search engines, as well as generically yellow pages, youth group. Somebody, some young teenager looking for a youth group in your city. So these are just some different ways you can think about search engine optimization that I think that if you hit it on both angles, you definitely do a lot better with your rankings. You can optimize more pages, you can get more traffic, you can get more people to find you, the people who are looking for you. You want to hit it at all those different angles. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you. This is Arvell and Church Marketing TV.